Let me show you how to use this original preamp that I made, the WJBP. I've got it hooked up to two powered 210 cabinets, and I've got left and right out of the back of the WJBP into each one of those cabinets. So it's stereo out. It's actually stereo in. If you put a tip ring sleeve plug in there and you had a stereo bass, you would get true stereo bass. Even guitar players are using this. I have Nick Colleone and Jerry Johnson. Nick Colleone is a chart-topping, Billboard chart-topping jazz guitar player. Jerry is a multi-talented songwriter guitar player, both American and both from Chicago. They use the smaller WJ110 setup with this for guitar. Virtually whatever they put in is going to come out. So they just use their pedals in front of it if they have to. If they want a clean sound, they don't get any cleaner. Fractal Audio is using the WJ110s at the moment with their Axe effects, and they're loving it. They're recommending it to their customers. That's an early stage for us, so we will be working hand in hand with that. That says a lot, because guitar modeling these days is very popular. And that means you can model your guitar sound from the Axe effects unit and have it reproduced authentically through the 110 stereo setup, or a single powered cab if you wish. Anyway, let's get back to us bass players. Enough about those guys. So how to use that? We'll start, I'll kill it and mute it. You start with your source to maximize your source into the preamp, into the cabinets. Look at this source, will you? I love it. So I maximize my input gain. It's an active bass, so I have a pad pressed in. There's your input gain, that single one, not these, that's your preamp output gain. So for me, I'm watching this to see if it goes orange to red, and I'll back it off till it's just maybe orange or nothing. If you have a passive bass, you can release the pad and get more input gain. So you must start there. Set everything flat. If you're using two cabinets, there's a pan control at the end. Pan it in the middle. If you're just using one cabinet, pan it to the side you're coming out from the back. I'm using two, so I've got it in the middle. Now, I'll give myself a little bit of playing volume. At the moment, I've got a DI coming out of there and a mic in front of this for recording for the studio. I've got a foot switch, so I've killed everything. They don't get anything in there. And there's actually a tuner on this while it's there. So I am out of tune. No, close enough for this. So I'll engage the amp again. I'll release this mute button and I'll hit the kill switch. I have sound. So there's nothing really I have to do to that, which is what you want. Flat, away you go, and it reproduces your bass beautifully. How does it reproduce it? Low B. Let's add some of this. So it reproduces whatever I put in it. Now say I would like to just shape my tone a little bit. I can go to the E string. The bass is centered around the E string, which is 40 Hertz. But I've set every one of these frequencies at the harmonic points of each string. And the attack harmonic point of the E string is 80 Hertz. So the bass is 80 Hertz. Heaps there if you want it. You don't need it, and that's what you want out of an amp. There's a 30 Hertz boost down there if you want it too. So don't need that either, really. If you're a reggae player, maybe you like some more of it, but it still gives it to you without it. Now, the next string, each harmonic point, if you think 80 Hertz, 160, double it, 320, 660, they're the harmonic attack points of your instrument. So the A string is set at its attack point. The D string and G etc. I've 6 strings, so I've gone up a bit in the frequencies. Now, if you slap, you might like to go to the mid, which is here, and just reduce. I've reduced it hardly at all. And that's the EQ section, really. Now, there's your master there. And there's your sound. So how easy is that? The complicated part is the input gain for some people. They don't understand. There's a compressor on the front also. It's an optical compressor which senses itself. And yeah. You can hear it kick in. It's not necessary to use, but it's there if you want to. That's the front section. The rear of the WJBP preamp has an outboard power section simply for noise-free studio quality use. That's what you get if you put it outside the amp. It's just a push-pull out. There's its power switch on and off. You should always power this up prior to powering up the powered cabs, otherwise you'll get a pop, and reverse it when you turn your amp off. There are your 2 outputs, left and right, balanced XLRs or unbalanced 1/4 inch. I recommend balanced XLRs, it's a better quality. We move over to the effects loop. That's either mono or stereo. Now that's self-explanatory. There's an effects blend knob there. That blend goes from wet to dry. If you move it too much to wet, you're going to lose signal from the amp itself. So set it at 12 o'clock and make sure it's there every time you play at 12 o'clock. Now if you move over, there's a foot switch here. This is the foot switch. It kills the preamp. So if you want to tune on stage or you're in the studio and you want to tune, you just hit that foot switch. Now the DI section is pre or post EQ. There's the DI. It has a DI level control where you can add level if you want it. Fully off is unity gain. And if you look over here, there's an auxiliary input, both mini jack and 1/4 inch. So you can plug an iPhone, iPad in there and practice along with it, or you can use the auxiliary input and play along through with whatever you've got on backing tracks. The headphones is a 1/4 inch stereo jack out with a level. So it has everything we need on the back.